What a year this has been for movies. We've had phenomenal blockbusters, powerful dramas, impressive superhero flicks, and enough independent and festival circuit films to make you laugh, cry, and scream out loud. All of that combined makes this the toughest list I've ever had to make. I'm Phoenix Clouden. Welcome to A Day or So Late Movie Reviews. And these are the top 10 best movies of 2018. Now, before we begin this exhaustive list, we have to deliver a lot of honorable mentions. These are films that were so good, but I can only fit 10 on this list, so they had to be shelved, and they are Can You Ever Forgive Me, Love, Simon, Black Klansman, Incredibles 2, Bad Times at the El Royale, Widows, Blind Spotting, The Old Man with a Gun, You Were Never Really Here, A Quiet Place, Creed 2, First Man, Isle of Dogs, The Hate You Give, The Sisters Brothers, Tully, Upgrade, and First Reformed. Whew! That was a lot of honorable mentions. Like I said, a lot of great movies this year. But now that that's over, let's begin with our very difficult top 10.
Number 10.
Coming in at number 10, it's Mission Impossible Fallout. Tom Cruise delivers in this one-of-a-kind performance you don't expect from an action film, but it looks like Cruise was saying, I'm a really good actor. It's time I brought that to Mission Impossible, and boy, did he. Fallout has all the action movie tropes, death-defying stunts, huge explosions, well-placed humor, and delicious fight scenes. Tell me that was the first time you rooted for Henry Cavill in a fight. Mission Impossible did the impossible for me, and it made me want to actually watch the entire franchise from the beginning. That is damn good.
Number 9.
Coming in at number 9 is Bohemian Rhapsody. Rami Malek gives a 5-star performance as Freddie Mercury, and we finally get the Queen movie we've been waiting for. There's something for everyone in this film. If you've been a Queen fan for a really long time, or you just discovered the band, this is a film you will love. It's a joy to watch, and especially to sing along to. At the end of it, you realize that it was an emotional experience. It's and there's bound to be a whole new generation of Queen fans for years to come. And whew, that Live Aid scene. We're gonna be talking about that Live Aid scene for years to come. Now, we just need to get a Doors movie going. I know some people who could play Jim Morrison. I'm just saying.
Number 8.
Next at number 8, we have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I just recently saw this movie, and almost immediately after I saw it, I was like, that's going on the list. There's no way that's not going on the list. Spider-Man is easily the most relatable character in all of comic books. Even if it's, you could either have Peter Parker, you could have Miles Morales, you could have Ben Reilly, you could have Gwen Stacy. It doesn't matter. Easily that character and that story arc is one of the most relatable characters of all time. Spidey just gets us because we get him. I don't know. But the great thing about this movie is the characters are presented so well, and everyone gets their equal shine. But more importantly than that is the story. The story of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is so genuine, and it's so heartfelt, and it's so empowering and so powerful. It's by the end of it, you're rooting for every single character because that's how good of a movie it is. I'm sure they're gonna make a sequel. It's without a doubt the best Spider-Man movie ever made, and that includes live action. So, Tom Holland has got some competition.
Number 7.
Coming in at number 7, it is Eighth Grade. Eighth Grade. I probably laughed as many times as I cringed because it's so accurate. So accurate. Eighth Grade takes us on this journey through the eyes of a girl as she's about to enter high school. This is her last week of middle school. It hasn't gone well. Her 8th grade year has been pretty tumultuous, but she gets the idea that she's gonna film, her days as a high schooler, and the things that comes out when she's on camera, they're so genuine, they're so raw, they're so encapsulating that you're like, yeah, I'm right there with you, man. Like, I'm right there with you. Elsie Fisher does an incredible job. Also, props to Bo Burnham. This was his first feature film. He both wrote and directed it. Great job, Bo. Love your stand-up, by the way. Great stuff.
Number 6.
That brings us to number 6, and it is Green Book. Let me tell you something. You have no idea how happy I was to see a movie that has 2 of my favorite actors in it. You have Mahershala Ali, whom I love, and then you have Viggo Mortensen, who I've been a super huge fan and supporter of since he played Aragorn in Lord of the Rings. And by the way, if you haven't seen Captain Fantastic, see it. Viggo is dope in Captain Fantastic. I'm telling you, it made me want to even change my whole life around. I was like, yo, man, let's get some books. Let's live in the woods. Let's take the kids. Let's do it. Like, I was with it. But in Green Book, so basically, Mahershala plays Don Shirley. He's a real life person. And a real life person. He's a real person. There we go. But Don Shirley he's got a concert in the segregated South. So he hires Viggo Mortensen to drive him through this area because, it's going to get rough. The best part about it is that these 2 guys, they suddenly discover what it is they're lacking in their focus when it comes to racism and when it comes to their lives and who they are as individuals. It's a really powerful film. And I think the craziest part of it all is that Peter Farrelly directed this. Like, Peter Farrelly? Like, you mean the guy who made There's Something About Mary? The scene where she had semen in her hair? Yeah, that guy. He made this movie. And it was awesome. Like, so it's one of those things where it's like, don't limit your mind to what people are capable of. Okay? People are capable of a lot of things. We're astounding humans.
Number 5.
Coming in at number 5, kicking off our top 5. You knew this was gonna be on here. How could it not? A Star is Born. Yes. Yes, give me that. Of course A Star is Born is on here. A Star is Born is probably the only movie I could say on this list that is completely well-deserving of all of its accolades. Because Lady Gaga knocks it out of the park. I think what's shocking to a lot of people is they go, wow, Lady Gaga. I'm like, have you not been listening to her albums? Have you not been seeing her wardrobe? Of course, Lady Gaga. Of course she could act. That's not surprising to me. But she does get a fantastic character. And man, does she bring it to life. Like, there are moments in this, even though they're telling a story about music and about what it's like to rise into the industry. there are moments where you forget that's Lady Gaga because she's so good at this role, and I think that's what throws a lot of people off is they weren't expecting her to be that good. She was really good, but to me, the star that was born in this movie is director Bradley Cooper, who kills as both the leading actor and the director on this film. Bradley Cooper goes places, man, I didn't even think he was capable of, and it's just astounding to sit back and remember, like, oh, that guy who voices Rocket Raccoon, yeah, that guy's got some skills, man. That guy, that guy's impressive. Really looking forward to it. I'm sure this film's gonna take all the golden statues that it wants, but my vote is definitely in for Bradley Cooper as either best actor or best director. He definitely deserves it.
Number 4.
Coming in at number 4, Won't You Be My Neighbor? The only documentary on my list, and for good reason. Won't You Be My Neighbor is fantastic. Okay, so maybe you were sitting at home like, why do I need to watch a documentary about Fred Rogers? What? Why do I care about Fred Rogers? You better care about Fred Rogers. Fred Rogers is amazing. I kept watching this documentary expecting the moment where they'd be like, oh, Fred Rogers has a dark side. I'm like, come on. I'm like, no, man, this dude was the most genuine guy I think we've ever had in television. He believed every word that he said on TV because it was just him. Like, it was just who he was. It's insane to think that that was him. That all I can say is there are moments in this movie where you're gonna wish you could find that guy who's cutting onions, cause it'll get you, man. It'll get you, get you right in the chest.
Number 3.
Moving on, at number 3, I would say the only movie that grabbed audiences at the beginning of the year, held on to until just the tail end, and that is Black Panther. Black Panther comes in at number 3 on this list. Yes, we recognize it is a Marvel movie. Yes, we recognize it is a superhero movie. And yes, you should recognize it was a damn good movie. You take those aspects, a Marvel film, a Disney-owned company, whatever, but on the inside, when you look at that story, when you strip it down and you go, wow, that was a really good story. Ultimately, that's what Black Panther is. It is a really, really good story. And when you see that and you go, wow, like, they really took this comic book character and found this genuinely strong and empowering and powerful story in it, and you're like, wow, I didn't see that coming from Black Panther, and you're like, yeah, like, it's really good. Plus, I mean, you have a movie that stars Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, Denai Guerrero, I'm forgetting people's names, Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, Lupita Nyong'o, Daniel Kaluuya, Sterling K. Brown, Forrest Whitaker, Angela Bassett, and Denai Guerrero, who by far has the best line I heard in the whole movie, which is,
"Would you kill me, my love, for Wakanda? Without question."
I mean, that's just super strong. And
Number 2.
coming in at number 2 is If Beale Street Could Talk. Barry Jenkins, you've done it again. I mean, so Barry Jenkins also directed Moonlight, which went on to win the Oscar for Best Picture, as it should have. He comes back with the adaptation from James Baldwin's novel If Beale Street Could Talk. And it's such a just engrossing and powerful film. It's just ridiculous. It's a love story. It's a love story, but a love story told by Barry Jenkins is gotta be just the most beautiful thing you've ever heard in your life, because it's something he does where he uses color, and he uses sound, and he uses close-ups, and he uses just, certain shots where he can just elicit certain emotions from his actors, from the audience, and it's a movie where you're so rooting for this couple, because you're like, their love is real. And it's one of those films where you're like, you're gonna walk away from Beale Street going, I need a love like that forever. Like, forever. I want a love like that. I'm still looking for it. Hopefully it's out there. If you are my Beale Street woman, please find me.
And number one, or is it?
And that means we have reached our number one movie of the year. What is it gonna be? Crazy Rich Asians, right? Am I right? Am I right? It's gotta be, right? Beautiful Boy! It's gotta be Beautiful Boy! Halloween. I bet it's Halloween. It would be crazy. How could it not be Halloween? I bet you he puts Halloween above all of these other films.
Go ahead. Pick Deadpool 2. I dare you.
Oh, I'm not watching it, because I know it's gonna be freaking Hereditary. And if he picks Hereditary, I'm gonna lose my mind. All good choices, guys. All good choices. But here is actually my number one favorite movie, the best movie of 2018, and it is The Favorite. What the fuck? Yes, The Favorite. Directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. I'm pretty sure I'm mispronouncing that. That's fine. This movie, I didn't even think was going to be as funny as it was. You wouldn't look at The Favorite and think of it as a comedy, and it probably isn't supposed to be, but it so pokes at and makes fun of the ridiculousness of government and just how petty these people are, and the contrast that it has to today's world, and even in British politics, there's so much ridiculous pettiness and infighting. It just makes for a hilarious subject matter, and I think what Lanthimos, somebody tell me how to pronounce that. What he did with The Favorite is just he created this huge drama set piece. This is the type of film that you would think works probably better on stage, because then you have, the ridiculousness of what's happening on stage set in that atmosphere sort of makes sense. But on film, it's one of those things where it's like, wow, I'm taking all of this seriously, and it's cracking me up. It's die hard funny. And then it has its moments of pure darkness where it's just, wow, that was heavy. Like, that was really heavy. And then you have performances by Rachel Weisz and Emma Stone, who I think delivered so freaking well in this movie. If you were not convinced that Emma Stone was deserving of her Oscar, like me, I didn't think she deserved it. But in this one, I'm rooting for her. The Favorite is an amazing, amazing movie. I highly recommend you check it out if you haven't. And there it is. That's the top 10 best films of 2018. Of course, we're going to have some disagreements. Maybe I put one of your favorites on the honorable mentions. Maybe you felt it should have been number one. Please let me know. Post your comments down in the comment section below. We'll see you next time. And this has been A Day or So Late Movie Reviews. My name is Phoenix Clouden. Peace.